If you're wondering about getting hearing aids in 2025, we are going to talk about that here today. Being proactive is usually good, right? When it comes to your health, should I wait? Should I take action? Usually when it comes to healthcare, the answer is you should take action.
When you have a problem and you treat it quickly, your outcomes are better. Prognosis increases or improves. And so if you're interested in doing your very best with your hearing health, then sooner than later is a good kind of rule of thumb. Getting help quickly means the ability to restore, the ability to maintain, the ability to sustain who you are, who you want to be long-term.
I think sometimes my patients have a little bit of a hesitancy because hearing aids are tied so much to technology.
Right.
And we live in a world now where phones are coming out all the time. AI is out there. You know, the computers are changing and evolving. And so the question is often, well, should I be waiting for something better? Is there going to be a new technology that's coming out in 2025 that I need to wait for? What do you usually say to that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I've got a hearing loss. Doctor, you just told me I can't hear. I already know I can't hear, but just level with me. Do you think something in the next 3 to 6 months is going to come out that maybe I should wait for? And
you can sympathize with that, right? Because I mean, I've been in that position. I'm buying a new computer, I'm getting a new phone. And so you have to ask, wait a minute, am I buying this like the week before a new model's coming out and I'm going to regret getting this model today? So we can sympathize with that. But in the world of hearing aids, my experience is that the technology actually progresses fairly slowly, but there is a steady, slow improvement from year to year.
That's right. So it seems to be that about every 2.5 to 3 years, somewhere in that time frame, something comes out. There's a wrinkle in the technology. There's something about the new technology about every probably 3 years that is a noticeable improvement. It's a small wrinkle. It's not for all situations. It could be just for dishes in the sink, or it could be for hearing and background noise like speech babble in a restaurant, things like that. So the technology progresses fairly slowly, but certainly if you took a 5-year period or a 6-year period, I would say the devices we were fitting 6, 7 years ago are different than the technologies. But as far as this idea of 2, 3,
wait a few months.
Yeah, should I wait a few months? Is something coming out, doctor? And what we would tell you is no. The technology that's going to come out in 1 month or 2 months is not going to be significantly different than anything we're talking about now. And when you're dealing with groups like ours, and there are lots of them out there, I would hope, but in our clinic, we allow people to wear technologies for 6 months and do research on different technologies. And that way we know that over a 6-month period, we've given that patient a very, very fair and also a very obvious choice as to which product is working best for me. And during a 6-month period, if something launched, if some new technology came out and we put that on the patient, they said, well, this is actually a hair better for my telephone needs, or this is a hair better for, my ability to hear soft speech, then they would know. And I think that's an important thing is technology and the ability to research it over, say, 3 to 6 months. I think that's a great idea. And number 2, typically technologies don't just change the world, every 6 months. That's not what we see as a pattern.
Yeah, I totally agree. 100% agree. It's very important for us, for our patients to have a good experience and to succeed. And on rare occasions, a hearing aid does launch while one of our patients is in a trial. And we're honest with them and say, hey, something new did just come out that we might want to try.
Right.
And that's fine. But by and large, you should not wait to get a hearing aid for new technology because the technology improves slowly. And my feeling is we have better technology now than we have ever had. So why wait? Right now, the options are so good. The major hearing aid manufacturers have really good hearing aids out there right now.
That's right.
And you really shouldn't put it off. There's such good technology available right now.
One interesting point that I'm thinking of, and you probably are having a thought about this very type of patient. I had a patient recently who said, can I try this newest device by, it may have been Phonak or Resound or one of these big, huge companies that are really known for advancements, it could have been Oticon. It was one of the big five, type companies. They tried a device that had come out about 1 year ago and they were really liking it. But then this new device launched and I said, well, I think you ought to try it. And sometimes a new device will come out by a different manufacturer, has a different type of sound quality, and it's not the right device for that patient. And so just because it's the very latest device that just launched, it still doesn't mean that you think it sounds the best or that it's,
might not be the best for
every hell is above every. Exactly. Every device has a different attack release time and has speed factors, and they just have so many different characteristics within the device that you're really analyzing what's right for me. And what's right for you may very well be a product that came out last year and it's your favorite product. And guess what? Congratulations, because it's last year's model or whatever, it might even be a little less money. And so the value of cost benefit that we go through as we make a decision, as we purchase, and we're a consumer of technology and healthcare, because when you're trying hearing devices, it's a I got to buy this thing, I got to try it out, but it's also healthcare, like what's going to help me feel the healthiest. And so this cost benefit and this value principle really comes into play when people and patients are making a decision, what's right for me. And it might be the older product that's really not that old, it's only a year old or whatever. But what we're trying to say is the best thing you can do is try the products. And if something happens to launch right in the middle of a 6-month trial type experience, let's try it out. Let's see what you think. And you're going to choose for you what's right for you. But I do have to admit, I am super excited for 2025. Feels like a healthy year.
I think so. 2025 is going to be great.
I mean, it's awesome. Yeah.
And if you're thinking about getting hearing aids in 2025, I think we're both on the same page. You shouldn't wait. There's such good technology available. You don't need to wait for something new. But maybe a good question to ask your audiologist is, am I able to try different models? If I try this one and maybe it's not the right one for me, am I able to try different ones? I know at our clinic, we absolutely offer that. And if you're looking for help, that may be a good question to ask.
Exactly. So when you try hearing devices in 2025, first of all, great choice. We congratulate you. We applaud you. Pro health is definitely the way to go and the way to be. First of all, there's different styles. So how does it sit in the ear? How does it look? How deep does it go? There's different styles of devices, battery versus rechargeable, waterproof. There's performance devices, there's platinum devices, and then there's all the way down real low, very basic devices. And so we're dealing with technology levels, we're dealing with style differences. And so trying them out, seeing what you think, seeing what your experience is, I think that's the smartest thing to do. I can't say it enough that stimulate often, stimulate frequently, get the right prescription, get the right technology in your ears, and you'll thank us, you'll thank yourself for doing that quicker. Don't be too concerned with, is there something better coming out? Think more about, how can I be healthy through the next 5 to 10 years of my life? How can I be my healthiest?
A good question might be, well, what technology should I be looking at? What are some good options?
For one thing, we have the best technologies that produce sound, even in dark, moist, waxy environments. The devices today and the things we can do for consistent sound. I had a professor years ago say, audibility is king. If you have a target you're trying to hit and you can hit it often, that's going to help your patient be as healthy as possible every day. And so I love the options we have for the little tips that are in the ear and how they manage wax, how they produce sound. And so just having something, the best type of technology possible for the ear canal, I think is a really, really great thing, whether it's a custom ear mold with a really large filter that can handle wax and produce the sound the best. I think that's an enormous thing. The next thing is we have a new form of Bluetooth that's a little bit different. It's called Auracast, and it's a low energy Bluetooth signal, but it is more full, it is more comprehensive, it is bigger, it is sharper, has a better sound quality to it. We now have hearing devices that can stream this Auracast type signal, and we have it for 2025. I'm actually really excited about that.
Lots of really good options. Yeah, and you'd think low energy Bluetooth would mean bad quality. You know, you hear, oh, this is a weak Bluetooth. No, low energy Bluetooth is the future of Bluetooth. And low energy audio, when you're streaming some of this Auracast stuff, it sounds phenomenal. So if you're looking at hearing aids, the one that has this Auracast in it that's already functional with its accessories, this would be Resound.
Yep.
The Resound Nexia is a really good option for 2025.
I like the word Nexia. It's kind of like, what's next?
What's next?
The Nexia.
Nexia.
The Nexia is a good next option for me.
Most of these new hearing aids coming out are Auracast ready. They have it built in, but it's not activated yet. They're ready for it once it becomes a little more mainstream. The Resound product, though, the Resound Nexia, is using it now. It's streamers. It has a little device that plugs into your TV, and then the TV will stream the audio right to your hearing aids, and it's using the Auracast signal.
It's been amazing.
And it sounds phenomenal.
Right.
They have a little microphone that someone else can wear.
A little spouse or companion mic, and you can put it on. Say if I were talking with you, I could put a mic on, and I'm talking into this mic, even though I'm 30 feet from my friend, and he's hearing me as if I'm just that distance, like my voice is right on his ear, but it's cleaner, it's sharper than it's ever been. It's an outstanding microphone. We're really excited about that.
It's cool, and this technology, this idea of a microphone that streams, has been around for a while. The Auracast is what's new about it.
The other thing that's cool, like you said, it's not quite ready in the cell phones, but this could be this year where cell phones are streaming Auracast to your Nexia Auracast hearing device, and now you're enjoying YouTube videos and podcasts and audiobooks, or maybe a phone call in just this healthier, stronger signal. So I'm super excited about that. I think it's great. You know, it's the smallest in size. It's the smallest physical device that's rechargeable.
Talking Nexia.
The Nexia is
the smallest.
It's called the Mini, and we were excited because, you know, when you see a hearing device, it's called Mini. People like small, right? And anyways, I'm kind of excited because people are like, what do they look like? And you're like, well, what do you think about this? And they always look at it and go, well, that's a lot smaller than I thought or that's smaller than my buddies. Yeah. You know, stuff like that.
Because the other two hearing aids that we might mention are both bigger than the Nexia. In fact, the next hearing aid that I'll mention that's a really good option for 2025 is the Phonak Infinium. And the Infinium comes with an option called the Sphere. The Phonak Infinium Sphere is one that we've been excited about. It is a phenomenal product, and we've said it before, I'll say it again, one of the drawbacks is it is large. So if size is a concern, and sometimes when people are deciding between hearing aids, just looking at them on the table, they often will go for the smaller one. And the Nexia is much smaller than the Infinium Sphere, but man, the Infinium Sphere made by Phonak is a really good option for 2025. Even though it's big, it's using technology that other companies are not in terms of artificial intelligence. Right. And its ability to adapt to background noise is really, really good.
Really, really fun. And like Resound, we can make custom tips that work really well. These custom tips that can be made for Resound or Phonak are really great options for people that have maybe a little more hearing loss, you know, like a moderate to severe instead of just a mild sloping to moderate or severe loss. So I think that's a really, really great option too, is the ability to customize your listening experience with both Phonak and Resound. You know, the Phonak device, I get really excited as well because it's kind of this comfort type device. It feels like this sound quality kind of has these nice roller type of a signal instead of kind of sharp and brassy. It's a little bit more easygoing, and that certainly fits the listening needs for a lot of different people. And so you can see we're really excited because if you want a technology that's super sharp and it's going to give you, you know, extremely great clarity, or if you want a device that has a little bit more comfort to it, how fun that you get to try and listen. Yeah, it's nice to listen to both and just see what's going to be right for me. And you know, that kind of research with you having the time and the energy to do it. I know we have the time to make sure that we get the right product on you, but it takes a little bit of time. Sometimes individuals may take, you know, 1 to 3 months to even make a decision on a product. Most people kind of know right off the bat kind of what they want to do, but it's an exciting time. I think 2025 with the new technologies, it's a great time because Phonak and Resound and Oticon and some of these big players, they've all recently come out with their newest technology, you know, in 2023 and 2024. So this season, you know, is a great season for trying devices.
I totally agree. There's really, really cool stuff out there. Sometimes people wonder, don't all hearing aids just do the same thing? Don't they all just make things louder? But the answer is no. Every hearing aid company has a proprietary algorithm, a way that they process sound, and it's different from one company to another. So while we may have a whole bunch of people that are just loving the sound of the Resound Nexia, you might get one that's just struggling a little bit. And so we'll often say, well, let's try maybe a Phonak device, because maybe you'll take to their sound processing algorithm a little bit better, and often they do. So it's nice to have options. The Nexia by Resound is phenomenal. The Infinio and the Infinium Sphere line by Phonak is great. I'll just mention Oticon's product is called the Intent. We've had good luck with the Intent. Yep. So I'd say I would lead with those three if I'm gonna make a recommendation for 2025.
I think 2025 is gonna be a great year for all of you. And the main thing, again, to just reiterate something we've already said, if you know that you've got an issue and you're thinking about, is this a good year to try hearing devices? We would say it's a great year to try devices. These are the best technologies, the smallest or the sharpest or the cleanest or the best connecting with phones and things. The technology we have today is better than we've ever had in our career by a long shot. When you look at what we were doing 5 years ago and you consider what we're doing today, it's pretty impressive.
Yes, we've never been more confident as doctors. 15 or 20 years ago, sometimes it was a little harder to be confident that you could help somebody.
Right.
Today, boy, there's so much confidence that there are products out there that will work and help you. So if you're thinking about upgrading, maybe this isn't your first experience with hearing aids. Maybe your decision isn't, should I get hearing aids for the first time in 2025? Maybe your thought is, I've had my hearing aids 5 years. Is it time to take the plunge and upgrade to something better? And if you've had your hearing aids, 4, 5, 6 years, I would say the answer to that is probably yes.
So 2 reasons for that. One is the obvious, the technology's better. Your new device is gonna sound better, you're gonna be happier, you're probably gonna look better, it's going to feel better. It's just going to be a better experience in general if you're 4 to 6 years old. But the second thing is do technologies really last? Do they really perform? Do they really give the hearing health that our end users, our patients, really deserve in year 5?
Yeah, and sometimes yes. I mean, we have patients that succeed with old hearing aids, but it does get hit and miss. We're dealing with electronic devices that are being worn on the human body, and they do wear out.
I mean, the output's different. They slow down. Think about your phone and think about how the battery's being weird, or why is it glitching, or why is it... We see these very same things in the hearing devices, don't we?
It might still be working, but not working optimally. And combined with the improvement in technology, usually after 5 years, it's probably time to look at something new.
I had someone come in yesterday, and he was in Mesquite, and he's like, I went to a funeral, and all of a sudden my device started making this like a sizzle sound. He's like, what's going on there? And his hearing device is about 5 years and a couple months. So we looked at it in the lab, we suctioned it, cleaned it, we did our best, and we're like, we got to send this hearing device in. To send a hearing device into the manufacturer in your 5th, 6th, 7th year, that's when the manufacturers, I think they kind of stick it to us, right? They say, if we're going to fix something this old, knowing that if they fix one problem, another problem could just surprise and arise and come forward. So it's kind of a little bit of a crapshoot once you get beyond that 5th year, because if something fails, something behind it's going to fail.
Repairs get expensive. It's kind of like dealing with an old car. You might dump a whole bunch of money into a repair and then turn around a few months later, have another repair. And so you start getting to that point where you think, boy, do I want to keep putting money into this old technology, or is it maybe time to upgrade to something new?
Right. So I think it's a great idea that if you are somewhere between that 4.5 to 6 year mark, and certainly beyond that, I think 2025 is a great year for you to come in and just research and say, what are the new devices feel? How do they feel? How do they sound? What kind of performance have I been missing out on? And How can I improve my hearing health and maximize and make this 2025 the best year possible?
25. I want to share one last thought on upgrades. And that is, should I wait until my hearing aid dies or has expensive repairs before I upgrade? I typically counsel my patients no, because I love you to have a functional backup set. If you don't have a spare set and your hearing aid's 6 years old, it's probably a good idea to get this new technology before your old one starts having problems, because I love having that spare, just in case. Just maybe to take out on your ATV, maybe you take it out fishing, maybe it's the set you wear when you're out exercising, and then you've got your other really good set that you protect a little more. I just love having a backup set, and so sometimes it's wise to get the new set before your old one has problems.
Love that idea. So we're excited to see you. We're excited for 2025. This is your year. This is the best year to take care of your hearing health. We'd love to help you here, but any group with audiologists, you know, if you're thinking about, where's my hearing? I know it's not as good as it used to be. Just come and see us, or see a doctor like us. The hearing tests that we do, most insurances cover the tests. A lot of our patients have a primary and a secondary insurance. It's a great way to just take care of the testing expense, which is not very much anyways, but it is true that the evaluation part and finding out, where am I, how am I doing with my hearing, how am I doing with the processing of sound in my brain, how am I doing with sound, it's typically covered by insurances, and so we'd love to help you here. And
it's 2025, be the best you, good luck in your journey, and thanks for watching.
Okay, everybody, we so appreciate you watching the video today. If you've liked what you've seen, please like it, subscribe to our channel. It means the world to us, but it also means the world to other people who are trying to figure out what's going on with their hearing health. So thank you for watching.